Hi everyone, welcome to Survivors with Rhythm. My name is Brianna. I mentioned at the end of the last video that the first thing I will discuss with you guys about this healing journey is how to change your mindset and the role that it plays in this healing. So first of all, when I say mindset, I mean how you perceive your traumas and everything you experience in your life that you go through. When I had to change my mindset, it wasn't easy, but for me as an anthropologist, I was already trained to do what was necessary in order to get myself out of my head and into a place of wisdom and seeing my experiences as if the story wasn't my own. Basically, what I'm going to teach you to do, or show you how to do for yourself, is get yourself into a mindset where you can look back at your traumas and your memories of your darker experiences and look at them without the emotional attachment. What I mean by emotional attachment is you will be able to see your experiences, the traumas, the abuse, as a third-party observer, like you're reading them in a book. Like you're the main character in a story and you're reading about all of the details and you're picturing them in your mind, but you don't feel afraid, you don't feel anxious or sad or any of those negative feelings you normally feel when you think about them. Instead, you're viewing them as a learning experience. You're analyzing it to see what you can learn from those experiences. So for example, when I looked at my traumas, once I got myself into this mindset, I was able to see my traumas as blessings, because had they not occurred, I wouldn't have learned the negative behaviors or been able to actually see what I was doing wrong that put myself in these situations in the first place. So for example, one of the negative behaviors that I was doing was I was allowing people into my space, into my energy, into my life that were not respecting my boundaries. And I was not asserting my boundaries well enough or asserting a punishment to those who were disrespecting me and treating me wrongly. So one of the things that I learned that I needed to do was I needed to assert some sort of punishment for those who were not treating me fairly or not respecting my boundaries. And for me, that punishment is not allowing them into my life at all. I don't want people taking up my energy or coming into my life that don't respect my boundaries. And in order to stop that, I have to cut them out. For me, that was incredibly hard for me to learn to accept and to do, because I'm an incredibly kind person, and my old mindset used to be that I would never cut people out completely because I didn't want to be rude, or I didn't want to, seem like a villain. And I had a lot of trouble overcoming that. It did take some time, but I learned that I was doing this negative behavior because these traumas happened. Had I not been abused and assaulted, I would not have seen that I was allowing people into my life that I shouldn't have. And because I was able to see this, I was able to stop these behaviors, overcome them, and gain the confidence I needed in order to move forward knowing I'm safe and I'm protected, and that I have the power within me to protect myself from any negative experience. And that's how you move into the future, knowing that these traumas will no longer affect you, and knowing that you have the power to create a happy future for yourself and overcome any circumstances. So how I'm going to teach you to change your mindset and view your own experiences in this way is the same way that I learned how to do this. And I'm an anthropologist, so for me, I already know how to view things from an unbiased third-party perspective. But it was for me remembering how I learned to do this in the first place. So in high school, I was taking philosophy classes, and at the beginning of the first class every semester, our professor would ask the class, what is the ultimate goal of life? So a lot of people would say things like power, love, money, family. But ultimately, by the end of the class, the professor told us, and this is the general consensus of many philosophers, not just my professor, but he was talking about how the ultimate goal of life goes beyond these things. So look at these things that people are throwing out. Love, money, power. Why do you want these things? Why do you think love is necessary in your life? Why do you think family is important? And he pointed out that you want these things because you think that they will make you happy, or that they would make other people happy. So that means that the ultimate goal of life is happiness. Your happiness, others' happiness, or whatever you feel would make you happiest, that is the ultimate goal of life. So this class taught me to look beyond superficial things and what first comes to mind, and think deeper and look at things from a deeper perspective. What you need to do is you need to find a way to look at your own traumas in a deeper way and understand them without your emotions or any fear or negative feelings, anxiety, stuff like that in the way. I mean, I know it's not easy, and I will warn you, it's not easy. So if you feel like it's taking you a long time to learn to do this, or you feel unable and you don't see it being possible for you to do this yet, don't beat yourself up. It's not easy. Even me, who was trained to think this way, took a long time to apply it to my own life. Ultimately, you can do it. I know it seems impossible, but you can do it. You can look at your experiences without your emotions attached to them. One way that I recommend doing this is to keep a journal. I know you hear this a lot. Everybody says keep a journal, it's healing, but there's truth to this. So what I want you to do in order to learn about your own experiences in a detached way is, for 1 week or 2 if need be, write down every single thing that you think, that you do, that you feel, that you experience, no matter how seemingly small it may seem. Write it down for a week or 2. Once you're done, after a week or 2 if you feel necessary, then go back and read this journal as if you're reading another book. Read it as if you're a third-party observer experiencing someone else's adventure. Once you do this, look for patterns. Look for patterns in this journal that seem unhealthy to you, that seem odd. So for example, one of the patterns that I noticed when I was analyzing my own life that I was doing was I noticed that there were a lot of situations with people in general that I was feeling uncomfortable. And I noticed that this was a pattern, as I kept finding myself in situations where I was feeling uncomfortable or anxious and expecting something bad to happen all the time. And I realized that that's a situation where I should either be saying no to the situation in the first place so I wouldn't be in it, or I should be speaking up for myself and saying when I'm uncomfortable, when I need to leave, or when they need to stop doing something or saying something that they're saying. I know that this is a little hard to do, especially without your emotions attached to it, but I know that you can do it. I do have faith in you. Again, by the time that you are done with this journal, you should be able to look at your own experiences and see what you can change or what you can do differently in order to move on past these traumas. So after you start analyzing your first week or 2, and you feel you've learned to see your own experiences as a third-party observer, What I want you to do is I then want you to write down your traumas. Every detail that you can remember, every feeling, everything that happened, the setting, as much as you can remember from beforehand, immediately after, during, and things that you feel you do in effect of these traumas. So, for example, one of the things that I did after, I believe, the third trauma was I cut people off. Not just the perpetrators, but I mean everybody. I wouldn't let anybody close to me. I kept everybody at a distance because I was afraid that something else would happen. So I was just wary of everyone. And I don't want you to feel like this is a rare effect of traumas. A lot of people experience this. And this is one thing you might notice that you've done in effect of your traumas. Ultimately, when you have finished writing down everything that you can remember about your traumas, when you feel ready, I want you to go back through, read through them, and then determine what of these behaviors is healthy, what is unhealthy, and I want you to see any patterns from these traumas that you can pick out that you seem to think need to change. When you are able to do this and be in that mindset of growth, of learning and gaining wisdom, that's how you can move forward in this healing journey. And this is the first thing you need to establish and be able to do in order to walk this path. Again, you aren't alone. I am here if you need to speak with anyone, or you feel you need support, or you feel alone. You're always welcome to leave a comment below. And you can also reach me personally on the group Facebook page, as well as the Instagram. And you're always welcome to send me a private message as well. And I will try to get back to you in a timely manner as quickly as possible. Again, my name is Brianna, and thank you for visiting Survivors with Rhythm. Bye!